Before you even begin working out what you need to achieve in your portfolio in terms of cash flow and growth, we need to discuss risk, and you should know the following. All investing carries risk. The risk relates to the chances of losing some or all of your investment. Property investing isn't a risk-free investment. Anytime you choose to invest, you must do so being fully aware that risk exists. Now, I haven't said that to scare you off, but rather to help you better understand how important it is to become a skilled investor before you enter the market. Learning how to invest well will go some way toward mitigating the risks which all investing ultimately carry. When I talk to investors about risk, most people have one major fear, and that is that by investing in property, they'll be exposed to a level of risk whereby they might lose everything that they've worked hard to gain at that point in time. I remember years ago I had a staff member who was working for us from when we first started the business. Karen and her husband Tim had worked really hard and owned their own home outright, at that time worth around $250,000. Now, she watched as my husband Ruben and I and many of our clients added property after property to our portfolios and eventually decided that she needed to get in there too. She'd find a property, negotiate a price, get a contract, and then get a really bad migraine, eventually pulling out of the deal. Now, after seeing her do this 3 times, I took her aside to see what was going on for her. She confessed that after working so hard to get the home debt free, I scared her that she might buy a lemon and lose the lot. I explained it all to her like this. She presently owned a home worth $250,000 with no debt. She was about to add an investment property for $125,000, which was the price at the time, with a debt of around $132,500 to cover all the costs. She was going to use both properties to secure the debt. Now imagine that it went horribly wrong and she had to sell suddenly. Imagine also that it was the worst possible time to sell and she really had to discount the price to get a buyer. She reduces the price by 30% to $87,500 and gets a buyer. But she still has a residual debt of $45,000 secured against her own home and no rental income. When I asked Karen how she would feel about having a $45,000 debt, she said she'd hate it, but it wouldn't cripple them financially. In fact, it was less than the original debt on the house, and they managed that just fine. In reality, the true extent of the risk that Karen faced was not the total loss of everything she'd obtained, but rather a small debt to work on again. I know you'd love to buy an investment property, but finding the time to do it the right way is almost impossible. That's why we created Property Match. Born from 25 years of Australia-wide investing experience, Property Match uses multiple data points and machine learning to match you with the property most suited to your circumstances. Get back to what you want to do with your spare time and let your next investment property find you. Head to mypropertymatch.com.au to find out more.